We're talking about the technical state of the UK market with Daniel Jackson. Hi, Daniel.
Hi there.
Daniel, you trade the FTSE 350, the FTSE 100, which everyone knows is the largest companies based on trading on the UK market, and also mid-cap companies. When you look at individual stocks, but when you look at a lot of these individual stocks these days, what does it tell you about the market as a whole?
Well, I don't think it would be a surprise to you to hear that I'm concerned with this state of the markets. I think from the bottom in March up to the rally of I think we're about 5.2 in the FTSE. I still see warning signs, and I'm looking at, for example, public sector spending in the UK, right, and the deficit that's widening on a monthly basis. And if I was a fundamental trader, I would be relatively bearish at the moment.
When you look at the charts of individual companies, what do you see in terms of their price, in terms of volume, advanced declines, all the various technical indicators people use to sort of gauge the health of either individual companies or a market?
Well, because my methodology is pretty much technically based, I will have a view on where the market may be going, but I would look simply at the indicators that form the basis of my trading plan. I would perhaps steer clear of some sectors that may be perceived to be bullish sectors. But fundamentally, I'm a believer in the fundamentals and the economic situation playing itself out in the price action and the volume of individual stocks.
So what sectors are you wary of based on what you're looking at?
Well, that's a good question. I mean, in terms of the sectors that I'm not wary of at the moment, I think we're looking at potentially some moves, I think, in the technology sector. I think for the last 6 months, we've seen some interesting moves in the technology sector. Tend to be signs when that sector moves that we may be coming out of a recession. I'm not convinced. I think also the banking sector. It really depends on which way you go on this one. I mean, if we were just looking at the technicals of the banking sector, and we'd be looking at what's actually happened with regards to various government help with that sector, wouldn't know which way to play that at the moment. From a kind of net asset value point of view, undervalued, but be a risky place to go and trade, in my opinion.
Anything else that people might not be aware of that looks a little interesting to you?
I've seen some interesting movements in some of the oil companies recently. I don't track the price of a barrel of oil, but I do think that there are some interesting moves in some of the FTSE 100 oil companies.
The really biggest ones?
Yeah.
Are they moving up or moving down? Or?
They're moving up. They're moving up.
Now, they have lagged a bit, haven't they? I mean, I know certainly ExxonMobil hasn't been a really great performer, and none of them, I think big oil, except for maybe BP, I think have really kind of lagged quite a bit, haven't they?
Yeah, and I think Royal Dutch Shell came out and with an announcement that wasn't great from a third quarter point of view. But as I say, I mean, I do look at the sectors, but my strategy is really based on what an individual stock is doing, and it's based on price action of that stock and on its volume. And based on that, what I see in those two stocks, that you've mentioned and Royal Dutch Shell, is that they've been moving up.
Thank you.
Thank you very much.
We've been speaking with Daniel Jackson on the MoneyShow.com video network.